A wonderful good morning to you, Aquarius. Good to see you here. Welcome to my channel. As you can see, this is a new channel, so like and subscribe, it would help me a lot. And I'm doing your oracle reading today for July. And as always, I have one fairy tale card here. I have my oracle cards, and I have these cards here that show quotes from the ancient Chinese book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Now, these cards are fantastic when it's about conflict resolution, be it conflict within ourselves or with other people. So let us have a look at what is going on for you, Aquarius. This is about the recent past, this is the present, this is the future. So let's begin right here. And this card, Aquarius, that we see here right now, it's called Peaceful Among Thorns. Let me just quickly show you this. And we see this spiritual person meditating in this threatening looking situation. And you see how completely calm this person is. And so this is, I think the artwork of these cards is just magnificent. Can I just say? This is brilliant. Okay, so let me just quickly have a think about this. So this is your recent past. Aquarius, this is really, really very good. Well, I feel there are two sides to this. Let me explain. Basically, what this means is that you are in a situation where you managed to get from one day to the next with a certain amount of stoicism. And it was necessary. You needed it. You maybe felt even trapped, but even in that situation, you were still capable of working on yourself, of growing, of doing something for your spiritual, like for your enlightenment. See how there's light behind this person's head. It's the moment of enlightenment. So peaceful among thorns. Okay, it's so this is a good thing, of course, but it can also mean that sometimes, you know, you're being too brave in a situation where, you know, you should actually remove yourself from, or you should take action. So there's a certain, I don't want to call it lethargy. There is a stoicism, as I already said, a capability of being brave, not necessarily always for your own good, but just to cope with the situation. Oh gosh, this is quite, yeah, there's stagnation here. Things should have moved in a direction that was healthier, but they didn't. That's not your fault, but sometimes when we're too brave for our own good, things change not as quickly as they perhaps could. That's one thing. Okay, so let's see what the quote says behind. The quote says below, I mean, Sun Tzu said, "We cannot enter into alliance with neighboring princes until we are acquainted with their designs. We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face of the country, its mountains and forests, its pitfalls and principles, its marshes and swamps." So this is beautiful. And it says, "Friendship makes you rich beyond measure." What is a friend? A friend is someone special in your life, someone you know, warts and all. A friend knows that you are not perfect and you don't agree on everything all the time, but you still love each other. We can look up the word friendship in the dictionary, but the meaning is really only known in our hearts. Okay, so this is interesting. Aquarius, I'm very happy because it seems that you had good people in your life, and you still have them in your life, right? They may have advised you already quite a while ago. Are you quite sure you're happy with this? This situation seems off. Have a think about this again. But of course, something like this is always an invitation also to see if we are in the current situation actually being our own best friend still, or if you're just sitting still among the thorns. We may feel peaceful, but it's still harmful, right? And how deep does the peace really go if we're in a situation that is not good for us? So that's it. You were not alone in the situation. You had a wonderful social network. This is very good. And so this is for the recent past, but something like friendship, of course, you know, that is something that you carry into your present and in your future as well. This is a pattern because friendships, true friendships that stay with you for a lifetime, you know, they are not, they don't change so quickly. So if you had them in the recent past, chances are that this is something, you know, that you made the positive experience that you can rely on the people in your life. Now you need to be able to rely upon yourself, and don't be stuck in a situation more than necessary just because you feel, oh, I actually have the strength that I can do this. I am strong enough, I'm working on myself, things are actually not that bad, because inside your inner world, a strong part of you is still evolving and developing, even though on the outside things are threatening. Is this ideal? Well, it's admirable, but I wouldn't call it ideal. Okay, so for the present, you have interesting, hiding your true self. Hiding your true self. We see this beautiful woman, how she, so this is one person, right? This beautiful woman, how she's wearing this gorgeous red dress, and on the left side her face is uncovered, and on the right side her face is covered. Now she's hiding herself. Hiding your true self. That's right now, Aquarius, okay? So and that is often a situation that is not unrelated to the recent past. I think especially in this case, that's more the case than usual, that one emerged from the other or is completely connected. When you're hiding your true self, of course there can't be any real flow, no energetic flow. You're repressing something, and you're pressing nothing small. Okay, so it seems to me that out of the necessity perhaps of holding still, this is not standing still necessarily, this is holding still because of some outside threat. You're not completely showing yourself the way you really are. And that's very understandable, right? If you feel it's not safe to show up as your true self, you know, why the hell would you? That's not how it works. So the answer is the situation needs to change. The thorns need to go away, right? Peaceful among thorns. Interesting also, you see we have here, excuse me please, we have here the same person appearing twice. I find this so interesting because it shows us, of course, that we're kind of splitting ourselves in half. We are, if we're not showing up as who we really are, it's almost as if we are, almost as if we're recreating ourselves to fit an outside situation. And that's, of course, you know, that's like a split personality almost. So, and sometimes it can get to the point that we don't even properly remember and feel anymore that part of ourselves that we were cutting off, or we were repressing, or we are hiding. And so this needs to stop, of course, because this is your current situation still. If you have already improved with regard to this, then this is still very much a problem. This needs to become better still, because that's very good, because, you know, there is still leverage, there is still breathing space for you to unfold who you really are. You know, the philosophers, Nietzsche, the quote, "Become who you are." This is this. Okay, and from the ancient Chinese book, the writer Sun Tzu says, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and know earth, you may make your victory complete. Apologies, Aquarius, by the way, if you can hear the ventilation system of my computer. Unfortunately, that's something that I can't help right now. And here it says, speaking in public. This is beautiful because how well does this tie in together with this one here? Speaking in public. I'm reading the interpretation for you. The prospect of speaking in public can be terrifying. However, it is a great skill to develop. For Sun Tzu, the enemy, quote unquote, of the public speaker could be lack of a point, mumbling, reading your speech, and making too much of your mistakes. Know yourself means know your material, relax, be confident, dress right, sober up, practice, and be yourself. This is amazing because, you know, it literally tells us, show up as who you really are, and it's going to be okay. No need to sit stoically among the thorns anymore and hide a part of who you are. Speak your truth. Speaking in public, that's speak your truth. Right? Fantastic. And for the future. Oh, wow, I love this one. This is called Black Flower Fragrance. Let me see if this is... Yes, absolutely gorgeous. So you see there's a wind blowing through this beautiful person's hair, and she's holding this huge black blossom that looks like a black jewel that is exploding, something like this, like an obsidian or so. And this is actually a card about anger. Now we know, of course, Aquarius, that there can be different kinds of anger. There can be the anger that is vengeful, there can be the anger that is destructive, and then there can be the anger that comes from a place of having been wronged. And you know, it's very much a question of how do we express the anger? How much damage do we allow for the anger to do? And there doesn't need to be any damage really in a destructive way. What we can do, Aquarius, when we repress anger, is that we can just allow ourselves to feel it. You just sit with it, you relax, maybe you listen to some relaxing music, and then you go deep into your body. And by going into your body, your soul is going to open up, and then you will feel what is repressed. Feel the anger. Allow yourself to feel that angry, but only allow for that emotion to rush through your system. Feel the warmth. Anger can be warm and almost comforting. This does not mean that you need to go and do anything harmful to things or to people, or to go all destructive over this, right? All this means is that anger can be a great tool for clarification. It can mean that, you know, it can mean that if you feel anger, justified anger, what this does, Aquarius, is that it shows you the right path. It means, what the hell was I thinking when I didn't move away from that harmful situation as quickly as I should have, or that as would have been good for me? Why was I all intimidated and withdrawn and even trying to make the best of it, right? By saying, okay, you know, this is intimidating, this is scary, I'll sit still and wait until things blow over. And of course they never blow over unless that person, the thorns in this equation, is changing. Now, that's not in your power. And if something is intimidating, what this means, Aquarius, of course, you know, we sit still and you know, once we notice that this is a coping mechanism for our fear, the sitting still, that actually works, that gives us some peace, and that maybe even to some extent makes us stronger in the moment. We realize, oh wow, look what I can deal with. Today this person behaved like this to me, and like this, and look, I'm not a mess. I can hold it together. It's almost as if it's something to be proud of, but we're harming ourselves in the process, Aquarius. So this is not right and not good for us, okay? So the anger so that means in future you need to release the repressed anger, but do it in a constructive way. Paint something, make music, go for a run, go into the woods and scream, or just relax, lay down, relax, meditate, relax every limb of your body, and then feel the anger coming from the depths of your soul and just rushing through your system. And you will feel what happens is that after a while it calms down itself. So when people ask, what does it mean to release emotions? What it means is to sit with it, feel it in its entirety, but then stay calm, allow for this to be and to happen, and then it will just calm down, and then you will not feel it anymore. That's different from repressing it. Repressing it is what you've done so far. Yeah, hiding your true self. So your true self, it turns out, has quite a bit of anger in it, right? And rightly so. It's justified because you are sitting among thorns. So this is interesting. Give me a second. The last card with a quote from Sun Tzu, it says, ponder and deliberate before you make a move. Okay, very nice. Here it says, plan ahead, don't make it up as you go along. There you go. And it says here, Aquarius, life is full of decisions. Some people put them off or ask for advice. Pardon me, I'm recovering from a cold. Others simply stick a pin in a list. In reality, you need to use intuition, reason, or a combination. Intuition is more suited to simple or quick decisions. More complicated reasoning requires a formal, structured approach using reason, facts, and figures to decide whether the answer they lead to is right. That is very, very nice, because you see, Aquarius, what this shows us is that as you are going into your feelings and you start to bring up the depths of your soul, as it were, and if there's a lot of anger there, which seems to be the case here, don't allow for that anger to run away with you. The idea is for it to be released, okay? Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. Okay, that's different from repression yet again. It means be wise about the massive forces within you. Be wise about it. So for instance, if you're with a person you feel intimidated by, or you were harmed by in the past, or a situation, it can be also that, and now you're allowing for your anger to come to the surface. Think wisely and think about what the best use this anger would be, how you could use it in the best way. Maybe you're not required to act on it in any capacity. Maybe you just feel it and it's gone. Okay, but it can also be that let me see. We already said that the anger can show you into the right direction. Yes, but if you feel you have been so wronged and you have such a desire for going after someone and telling them your truth and tell them how you really feel, that can be a good thing, but it depends on the situation, it depends on the person. If this is someone who is dangerous, if this is someone who is easily triggered, you may be better advised to not seek out that last conversation, and to not sit down and try to reason with this person or to talk with them and explain your side like you can do with a rational and emotionally balanced individual. That's not necessarily the case, okay? If it is, then fine. If not, this enormous energy of your emotions could possibly lead into a direction that neither of you want. I don't mean necessarily anything bad should happen or could happen. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is that, someone easily triggered or so, what the hell is your anger going to make a difference? Yes, they're going to understand that you are angry, but, not everyone is reacting in a way that you would expect them to. So if someone was like thorns towards you already in a way that you felt it's not safe to show your true self, then, you know, feel your anger and allow for the anger to be your wisdom and show you the way out of the situation, show you the way to recovery and healing, but just leave, you know. You see, what I find beautiful is you see how this person's face is pointing towards the future, towards the right, away from what was in the past. And this is a card of fearlessness, a fearlessness of going deep, and not always being, you know, especially with women, I have the feeling it's still the case that often, you know, women are supposed to not show anger to the extent that they feel it, or not even feel it the way it is in them, not to be bold, not to be, how shall I say, women are still often, I feel, kind of supposed to be understanding and calm and all of this. You know, what about the storm that she's summoning up here? What about the, you know, that's there's so much movement in this card. I love it. And black flower fragrance, it's a fragrance that comes with your darkest emotions, and it can be a beautiful scent. This is a black rose, right? And the beauty of the fragrance is that, you know, fragrance alters our moods. If releasing anger is altering your mood for the better, then what can I say? That's fantastic. Okay. And now here we have our fairy tale card. Aquarius, the reason I work with fairy tales is because I feel they have so much wisdom and depth, and so much they can offer us. And this card here is an old illustration for the story of the Beauty and the Beast. Now, you see the beast here looks a little bit different from the way that we know it from the movies of today. I think she's depicted really beautifully here. Let me just quickly see. That's a painting by Walter Crane, 1845 till 1915. And this particular painting is from 1874. So this is really old. I think this is beautiful. And you see in the original story, the beast was described like this, to have the head of a boar. And I think this is actually terrifying. You know, if the beast looks a bit like a lion, you know, it still shows us there's a predator here, or there's something violent or aggressive here, or something intimidating. But this here is actually, I mean, a boar, effectively a pig. What we traditionally associate with is something dirty, something repulsive. We know that pigs are very intelligent, but we also know that boars can be very, very dangerous. Okay, can you see the size of the fang here? It's unbelievable. And then he is wearing a monocle in his eye. Look how sophisticated he appears to us here. This is really interesting, because of course we know in the original story that there is a kind-hearted prince behind this facade. And it may be the case, this is very emotional, that for you had a person in your life, or you still have a person in your life, where you always seek the goodness, but they're not always excuse me, they're not always appearing like that. These fangs that can hurt. And you see that she is a bit withdrawn. She's holding back. So the place where the story is right now, the place of the plot right now in the story, this particular scene, this is the before the redemption. This is before he turns into a kind-hearted and beautiful prince. You know, so the outside beauty of the prince is not about, in this context, is not about physical appearance. This is about the beauty of the soul. And this here right now, and this is where I'm slightly moving away from the original story, because these cards are only helping with the interpretation of your situation right now, Aquarius. This is a situation where someone quite pure and innocent is sensing that there's something not right about the other person and feels threatened and intimidated. And rightly so. And the other person is trying to appear civilized and sophisticated, like a true gentleman, but in reality, underneath there is a bore. There is, and it has nothing to do with actually how we like pigs. I think pigs are cute. That's not what this is about, right? This is about symbolism. So there is danger here. There is an element of something dirty, something not pure, something beast-like, some inner energy. And as always, this is again not about outer appearance. This is about energies within that person. There's something about just a wildness that is terrifying and also repulsive. There is something repulsive about this. And there is also an element here of that person not being true to themselves, because if you, in this situation at least, it's a boar and he's dressing up like a gentleman. Now, in the fairy tale, he's dressing up as a gentleman because he really is one. He just shows up as a boar. But, you know, in our setting here, what does this tell us about our person? If they really are perhaps deep down, or have deep down, a kind heart and a good side to them. What use is this to us if they are showing up as the boar that scares us, that intimidates us, that makes us feel as we need to sit still so that we're not being stung by the thorns, that makes us feel as if we cannot show up as the person that we truly are, that makes us feel as if we need to repress our anger and our wildness. Sometimes if there is too much wildness or on one side in a connection, the wildness of the other side is withdrawing, is being repressed. It can't show itself anymore the way it really is. That can be anger, it can be just joy for life, any emotion really, or physical sensation. It can be a sexual thing as well, passion, that is so big that, but it's true to ourselves, it's not exaggerated, yes, that it is somehow not comfortable for people around us. If this is the case, then we need to wonder, Aquarius, if we are around the right people. How comfortable are we in the presence of that person? Take a moment and meditate about this, Aquarius. When you really think about this just on a visceral level, how does being with that person make you actually feel? Are you full of joy and relaxation and happiness when you know they're coming home? Or is your whole nervous system alert, on red alert, and you try your best to make the situation work, to hold up the peace? Because if the wildness and the savageness of the other person is not trying to make peace or create a comfortable, peaceful, harmonious surrounding or life with you, then the whole responsibility for this in the past was with you. And it led to this. You have to hide yourself, you have to repress your anger, and this cannot go on any further. Okay, be free, be wild, smell the gorgeous fragrance of your truest, deepest feelings, whether they are light or they are dark. As long as you don't use them for anything destructive, that's perfectly fine. And so this is really about making yourself whole again. You've been split here in half. There's a light side and a dark side, and we want that's human nature. And we want to embrace this, and we want to make use of the darker, intense energies within us as well. And we can do so without being a bad person. That's the great piece of wisdom here. That's the big misunderstanding, that people always think, oh, I shouldn't be angry, I shouldn't be this, I shouldn't be that, because then I'm not being a good person. If your feelings show you the right way forward, then you are allowed to feel them. And you know what happens also when you are splitting yourself in half is that you become a shadow of yourself. This person here is sitting in the shadows with the light behind him, but still there's something. This is not a happy person. This is not good. Okay, so Aquarius, this is pretty much it. You get the idea. Okay? Stagnation and fear also of moving, of setting one foot wrong, effectively, walking on eggshells. In the past, in the present, you're still suffering from that effect, but you're already moving forward to the future of, you want to, there's a big desire in this that I feel of wanting to be whole again. You want a situation in which you can be yourself and you can feel complete. And you can do this within yourself. You don't need another person for this to make you complete. Well, if the whole thing of, you complete me and all of this, I have very mixed feelings about this. So first, let's complete ourselves. That means we're accepting everything that is within us, and then we're turning it into something constructive. We listen to its wisdom and its advice, and then we move forward. Yeah. Be your best friend. Have a good, healthy social network. Okay. Speaking in public, speak your truth. Be confident. Be your glamorous self. Be whoever you truly are. Doesn't need to be glamorous, by the way, but it's more about your sparkling personality, Aquarius, right? And then do whatever you do next in a level-headed way. Yeah, and this should be hopefully a good piece of advice. Aquarius, thank you so much for being here with me. This was a great reading. I'm truly sorry for anything repressive and frightening that you may have gone through, and I'm very, very happy about how the cards show you how you can strengthen yourself, you can free yourself, but just by accepting all parts of you that are there. You don't need to be a certain way in order to accommodate people who make you feel as if you're sitting among thorns. This is it. Aquarius, take good care of yourself, and again, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, because this is a very new channel and it would help me out tremendously. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.